And we're live.
Let's go.
Good evening. How are you, Etham Yates?
I am wonderful. Better question. How are you?
I'm all right. Yeah. I mean, feeling the weekend, feeling the meters, feeling the, I don't want to say weather, but yeah, I'm a lesson man might have spent the day in bed today. That's what I'll say. That's how I feel.
No, it's the end of the life of the self-employed.
Well, employed, self-employed.
All of them.
I've got it all. But
Is
yeah,
that the time of year,
mate.
Is that the time of year and everyone's?
I think, mate, what it is for me, I've had quite an indulgent week last week and weekend. I had a few Christmas parties, and then, you know, like diet goes to shit. I still trained, but I feel like my body's just a bit, because I'm doing quite a lot of training at the moment as well, because I'm doing the 1,000,000 meters. I think my body's just like, look, mate, if you're going to do all this shit, you're going to have to fuel me with something a little bit better than red wine and cheese. And I think that's the lesson that we need to learn.
That's a quick one. I've not spoken about the 1,000,000 meter thing yet. Are you like sending it, or are they just hours on zone 2? Are you doing like interval work?
It depends on the day. So I'm doing whatever. I'm still doing workouts. So if row and ski, your bike comes up in the workouts, the CrossFit workouts, I'm doing it. And then some days I've done like one of the bike workouts from the program, you know, the 20-minute test one. So I'll do like some sprints and stuff like that. But mostly because I wanted to do it alongside training, I'm doing a lot of like zone 2s on it and stuff like that. But I'm trying to push. I'm sort of zone 2, high zone 2, low zone 3, because I'm trying to push the pace a little bit so it feels like I've actually done something. But yeah, it's a lot further than I thought, but we've got a few banks, so we're all right.
The workouts that you're doing part of class, are you counting those meters in as well? Are you literally counting all the meters you do?
Yeah, any meter I log, even if I'm warming up, I'm just taking them and putting them on. So I'm like, well, I've done them, haven't I? You know what I mean? So I'm like, but I'm anal like that, mate. I like a little spreadsheet. So what I've said, I'm like way ahead of the rate now, but I'm not going to drop. I'm just going to keep going throughout the entire month, because like now, I think if I just averaged 20,000 a day for the rest of the month, I'd hit the 1,000,000 meters. And at the start, you had to do the average throughout the month is 32,000. So I've got ahead of the rate, but I'm just going to keep doing it, because I've always liked to zone 2 anyway, and I buy into that shit.
Is it a lot more than you normally do? Like, 'cause I know you do loads anyway. Is it a lot more, like a crazy or?
Yeah, I think, mate, what it is, it's like I'll probably do at the absolute most 4 zone 2s a week, and that's mostly because then I can justify like catching up on podcasts and YouTube videos in the space and stuff. So it kind of does a bit of both for me. But you know, because you have to do it every day, it's like relentless. I am actually feeling it, like, and that's what I've noticed is like, this isn't, you know, because my body's just under like that much stress each day. It's actually, yeah, I'm feeling it, as opposed to normally when you zone 2, you know, like if I don't want to do it, I won't. I'll just go for a walk or something. Whereas because I have to do it, I think that's part of it. Mentally, it hurts a little bit more, doesn't it? It's all Chris's fault.
Chris
from Project and from your gaff. So he were on about it, like it was a Monday before the Sunday before December started, when he were coaching at Project, you know, on about all these different concept challenges there were, and I was just like, oh, I'll do 1,000,000 meters. Didn't really think they were on it, and then about 5 days in, I was like, fuck me, this is a long way.
Yeah, we have Chris come and jumps in on our Friday night class called Strong. Don't actually know what the class is. It's just a bit of a free for all, really. But we did the £1,000 challenge a while ago, and I thought that was a little bit easy. So we did the £1,000 challenge, but you've got to do 10 rounds of it.
Right, what is it? Start at the beginning then. What's the £1,000 challenge? I don't think I've heard of this one.
So it's bench, deadlift, squat, and you've got to accumulate £1,000 amongst the 3 movements.
Okay, it'll take me a fucking while.
What did I do it at? I think I did 150 back squat, 210 dead, and like a 95 bench. But I mean, you can mix it however you want. Most people get most of the pounds through the deadlift, and then you've got to do 1 rep on each, 10 rounds, not for time, but just 10 rounds.
So I worked that out about 450 kg. Is that right?
It's around there, yeah, something like that.
So I basically have how long to lift 454 kg?
So it's like 1 rep. So you do 1 rep on one, straight into the other, straight into the other. It's not like you can. It's not as a set time limit. It's a case of can you do £1,000 over those 3 movements? And that's I'm sure that's one of the rogue challenges.
Oh, so I can only lift each barbell once?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm out then.
what was you thinking? Just like repping out on an empty barbell?
Well, yeah, my thing is, mate, so I've got a 200 kg deadlift, which makes me sound strong, but this is where it comes off from there. Then what do you say? Back squat?
Yeah, back squat and bench. So
we've got back squat 147.5. So we're looking all right. You'd say there, oh, he's nailed it.
Yeah,
but no,
100 bench.
I've got a 90 kg 1 rep max bench, mate.
1 rep max?
Yeah, that is the highest I've ever lifted on bench is 90 kg.
So what does that give you as a total?
437 kg.
So just well, I mean, not everyone managed the £1,000, but then you would just do 10 rounds at that.
Fuck you know. No, that's not for me. I'll stick to meters, mate. You stick to that. We'll make a good team between us.
Well, I got bored of it, and come round 5, I did 2 reps of each movement. Round 6, 3 reps, and I was like, "This is getting boring now. Like, let's speed it up a little bit." So in the end, yeah. And then I was thinking about, could I build it up to 10 reps at each movement for 10 rounds? That's what I was thinking as I was doing it, because I did 6 at each movement. Yeah, so rather than doing obviously 1 rep at each for 10 rounds, could I do 10 rounds of 10 reps each?
Okay, fucking hell.
Which I could definitely do at least 1 round. But then it's a case of how long do you need to finish the other 9?
What's the other one that we were on about? Is sub 25k run, and then what is it, 100 and what's the back squat? Isn't that a challenge as well, where you do a certain weight back squat and then run a 5k in a certain amount of time? I thought I heard about that one.
I mentioned it the other day. I wanted to do, because I think it was one of the totals. It was like off the grid total or something like that. And it was a back squat into deadlift into something else. I don't know what it was, but I did a 220 back squat, dropped it straight into a 220 deadlift. And I thought it would be cool if I could then go and run a sub 20-minute 5k. I don't know, it might be a challenge, but I thought, you know, if you warmed up for it, 3, 2, 1, go. Do your back squat, do your deadlift. That's going to take the whole of 30 seconds. Then if you've got the capacity to then go hit a 5k, sub 25k, like that's showing some serious capacity.
Yeah, that's fucking outrageous, isn't it?
So I have thought about it. I've not ran more than a k in about 6 months, so I'm not too sure how it would go down, but it's something that I do like the idea of.
I think do that like straight, and then like straight onto assault runner, get on there. I reckon you'd be away, mate.
I would have to run on the road. I would need someone to set the pace.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would, because I get motivated from competition. So I'd need to chase someone down. So if someone's ahead of me setting the pace, and you said stay on their heels, I would like blow a gasket trying to stay with them. If I've got a curve runner, I would naturally just drift off, and unless I've got people hurling abuse at me, I would just drop off.
I'm going to say what we could do. I could put an assault runner in front of yours, and I could just make up how fast I was going and tell you. You'd look at my legs and think I was running fast, and then Gracious has got your back, mate. Gracious is going to set your pace for you on your 5k.
Yeah, we have spoke about it, but that's probably one of the only people that would actually keep me right.
I think we should do this, mate. I think we should get this set up, and we should do it. We should do like a sort of, like make a little mini documentary about it. Can it be done? And all that, and then get all the haters throwing their shit in and sending all their videos in after trying to beat you.
It could definitely be done, but the thing is, someone doing it who's a good runner, I refuse to run more than 400 meters at a time. So the whole point would be like, can you run like a half decent runner doing CrossFit? And this is the thing that I keep banging on about, like all the hybrid rock stars. I'm like, yeah, you're all very good runners. It's a running event, but can you prep for a Hyrox just doing CrossFit? Can you prep for a marathon just doing CrossFit? And that's my big speech that I keep pushing. It's like, if you do CrossFit correctly, you can be competitive. You may not win, but you should be able to be relatively competitive, I think, in most disciplines.
Do you get any pushback on that from people in your sphere?
The people that are diehard will say no. Like, yeah, I know you need a serious amount of capacity to run a marathon, but I'm not talking about a sub 3 hour. I'm talking about, 4.5 hour marathon. I think that's good for someone who's not trained for it and just generally fit. I think if you just can put your boots on tomorrow and go run a 4.5 marathon, I would say, well done. And I genuinely think I probably could. Is 4.5 hour marathon someone good for someone who's been training for it? Depending for how long, I would say it's not as impressive.
Yeah, I think in that, I think the difference is, I completely agree with you. I think like someone that does CrossFit religiously or 4 or 5 times a week is more physically prepared to do anything than anyone else that trains any other methodology, any other sport, any other discipline. And I'd go and run a marathon tomorrow, like you say. I'd know I'd do it, like without the pre-training, what the after stages would be like. I don't know. Me and Elliot have talked about this. Like, how many people, that do CrossFit just go and do a Hyrox? They don't train for it. They just turn up on the day and do it because they know they can. And that's what I completely agree with that. And I think, part of it's the all-round fitness and the all-round, like, the 10 general physical prepared skills that CrossFit, like, enables you to excel in. But also, I think, when it comes to something like a marathon, because we're generally used to doing hard shit every day, that's the most important thing for something like a marathon. And it's a mental game when you're talking about just grinding it out. Now, someone that isn't used to doing hard shit or wants to take the piss or wants to just, work out at their own pace or just zone 2 for a month like me, they're not necessarily going to look at that distance and think, oh, I can do that. And then the moment doubt creeps in, it's over, isn't it?
But then also off the back of that, they can still do the gymnastics. They can still do the weightlifting. That's what's impressive. So even if you don't think your marathon time is hugely impressive, hang on a minute. Can the person next to you that finished ahead of you, can they still do the gymnastics you can do? Have they still got the power that you've got to move the ergs and all that sort of good stuff? So that's what I've seen from the high tops.
Yeah, I remember I talked about it on a show not long back. I think it was with Elliot. We're on about, like, there was a guy that he was just a runner, came to the project, trained at the project religiously, did less running, and then all he'd done was run prior to that, and then he PB'd his 10K, and it was the least he'd run, leading up to it, but it was because of everything else.
And that's it. And there's a local running club, I forgot what they're called, but I have always wanted to reach out to them and just take a few of them on and say, if I give you a leg program, a strengthening leg program, I want to see how much it's going to benefit your running. One, you need to get someone who's going to actually take it seriously, because I'd like to prove that actually, not even a leg program, but just do CrossFit. You know what I mean? Add CrossFit in twice a week, along with your normal training, and see how much you progress compared to the rest of the people in your running cohort that don't do CrossFit. And I mean, but it's finding the people that are willing to give it a go, that aren't going to think it's going to be detrimental to their running, and also, the willing to actually put the effort in to work with me and not just to prove me wrong.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? It's if you get the right sort of people that are willing to participate in something like that effectively. But yeah, it 100% have an impact. 100%. Don't know, it can't. Like, we just see it all the time, don't you? So in terms of, we've talked a little bit about Hyrox there just briefly. How did the Hyrox go the other week at your gaff? First time you put one on, wasn't it, like that?
No, it's the second sim we've ran. The first one we've kind of advertised slightly better. But you know, I like to have it all singing and dancing correct before I invite people over and embarrass myself because we've got it wrong. But no, yeah, it went well. I think we only had about 22 people go through, but because of our setup, we've only got 2 sleds. So there's a 15-minute stagger, which is good. But it's also bad because obviously it means 15-minute stagger, and when you're the first to go, it's a bit of a lull because the rest of everything's empty. Once obviously the course got full, obviously the atmosphere was better and people were going, and it's a shame because I could probably cater for maybe, I don't know, well, I could cater for, I think we looked at realistically 7 if we had the sled, because we've got a decent K route, and everything else was good for 7 people. But then again, I want to give people the ability to do the full sim as is. Obviously, they haven't got the rock zone, which they bang on so much about. And it's a case of, well, now you can see it how you want to see it. So you can look at the time, how long does this part take you? What are you like from here? And just get good accurate splits without worrying about anyone else taking your kit and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's an interesting one, that, isn't it? Because, like, God, if you could get 7 people through in one, that'd just be insane, wouldn't it? But would it work with 7 sleds, or do you need 14 then? Because the pull and the push are far enough apart, aren't they? Or do they follow each other that you get a further bottleneck, would you, there?
Yeah, so that's it. It's the bottleneck on those, but then it also depends on what the categories you've got running. So yeah, I think we worked out we could have seven people going every 15 minutes. So 15 minutes every 7 people, and I think we could just about, well, we should have enough kit minus the sleds to sort it out. But then, like I said, it's not a full run through. I mean, I want it to be kind of segmented, and give people the chance to just calm down, speed up, and just have a bit more space so they're not fighting with people.
Yeah. I meant to be doing it with Harley, but he forgot he were away, and I've never been so happy in my life.
Yeah, he did say that, yeah. And I said, if I have to, I'll jump in, but I really didn't want to.
No, well, I messaged him on must have been the Thursday, it might have been the Friday, saying, what do I need to do about this ticket? And he was like, oh, mate, I forgot I'm away. And I was like, thank fuck for that, because my legs were in bits. And, because if I say I'm doing something, I'm doing it. So I was just going to run through the pain, and obviously he'd fucking destroy me as well, given his fitness capacity at the side of mine. So, mate, it was the best message I ever got when he said, do you want me to find you another partner? I was like, no, mate, it's all good. Thank you.
No, what else? I'm thinking of the hybrid. I did the hybrid games with Mel.
Yeah.
We come 3rd in Liverpool, and that's only very similar, but it's only 600 meters.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So I'm thinking of giving a couple of those a bash, and then potentially trying Hyrox. But I mean, I don't want to do it and not get a good time. And that's my frustrating thing. People just do it for shits and giggles. I'm like, no, like, I'm doing it, and I want to get one of those flags. Gracious has just got another flag from Poland. I'm like, if I'm doing something, I want a flag, and I want it to be like one and done, not, oh, you've got to do it again now to get a half decent time or whatever. Rogue, come here.
Are you gonna tap Harley up then? Get him with a young whippersnapper. Get him to chase you around.
I wouldn't. I know I couldn't. His pacing's not good enough. He'll just run away from me. I would need someone that's good at running, that, constantly looking at their clock. Anytime you go out with a runner, like there's a few in the gym, they're just always looking at their watch and checking split times. That's realistically what I need, because if they mess the split times up, I'd get upset. And if they was going too fast, I would be even more upset.
Yeah. I like the look of that hybrid one. I think that looks pretty good. It's just not that I'm like, big man at RX and that, but the weights just look really light on that. The top end weights.
Yeah, they're crazy, because when I did it with Mel, I think it was a 10 kilo dumbbell for dumbbell snatch, and I was like, it's pointless me doing that. So
Yeah.
I think Mel, I think it might have been, was it 100? I think she had like 75 of them. And you know, I'm not bad of a dumbbell snatch.
Well, I think I watched you do 100 one time unbroken.
Yeah.
With 22 and a half. So,
but I just thought, well, for 10 kilos, if you're an RX athlete female, that's pointless.
Yeah, I think the RX male weight it's 17.5 kg dumbbell. The sled pulls like 80 or something and pushes like 130, 140. But so it looks good, but it's just one of them that you just have to really go fast because the bits in the middle aren't that taxing. Yeah.
But again, it's like I keep saying with this Hyrox, it's a runner's event, because let's say a good runner probably could, me just mincing around 1,000 meters, probably get a minute on me. I'm not taking a minute off your row time or your farmer's carry. So straight away, it's no matter, you need someone keeping you right on the run, even on the hybrid game. Like, you can't afford to drop off that run pace. And it's like, because there's not enough time on the stations to be making up anything more than like think of the difference between a 2-minute row and a 3-minute row. For five, like,
the pace you'd have to go at. Yeah. I think the 100 cal echo that gives you a little bit of wiggle room, but that's it.
Yeah, it does, but it's not a crazy amount. Let's be honest. So if you do 70 RPM, that's going to get you 20 calories a minute. So we're looking at 5 minutes on there. If you go down to 60, what's that? I think that's like 15 calories a minute.
No, 65 is 15. So you'd probably be at around 12, 13, wouldn't you, at 60?
12. So what's that going to add on? So it's going to add on about 4.5 minutes. But then if I'm losing a minute every run,
oh yeah, fucked,
you've made it back already.
Yeah, I agree. It is a runner's game, but that they need something, don't they? It gives them something, because they can't just be like stuck on a track getting battered in a CrossFit gym. They need to go and do some half squat wall balls and win the day, mate.
Absolutely. Did you see the wall balls over at London at the weekend? There's a 10-minute wait for the wall balls.
Yeah. Did you see my post, my theory on it?
No. Which one? I saw a few.
I just said that I like cracked the code on what the problem was. It was that the judges were actually making people squat to depth on the wall ball, so it just created a bottleneck while they were trying to accumulate 100 reps. And ironically, mate, I've got two reels that I've shared on the Defiant show. The one when I hammered Hyrox wall balls with you that Hiller shared, and then this one, and they're my most viewed videos. So if I want to actually make it as a podcaster or as a real viral guy, then I just need to hammer Hyrox wall balls. It seems that's the way to the heart of the masses, mate.
Well, it's let's be honest, it fluctuates so much on some of those reels wall balls. You see some judges that are absolutely stringent, like down to the millimeter, and you get some that just take. I'm like, I don't understand how it's allowed to fluctuate so much. You get some people just counting every rep, and then you obviously, once your algorithms got them, the next one they're just not getting any reps. I'm like, I don't understand. I mean, I've never judged any of those events, so I don't know what they get told, whether it's a case of be harsh on the pros if they're in that category, give them a bit of leeway. I genuinely don't know how that works.
Yeah, I saw one doing that one. When you see judges where they're like looking up and then they're looking down, like to make it obviously looking. And he was looking down at someone that weren't squatting parallel. Not like, so you're even pretending to judge. It's like, just tell someone. Because it's not easy, I guess. Like, I don't know. I don't mind it, but
imagine counting 100 wall balls all day.
Oh no, I don't mean that's not easy, because counting's pretty basic fundamental skill that most humans should have. But I mean more I don't know. You don't want to be like confrontational. You don't want to be like, "Oi, you didn't squat to depth," and then you shouldn't be doing it. Like, obviously, But
this is what I say, like when I'm judging at Graft and I'm like the head judge and I'm telling you, I'm like, what you don't understand is if you give someone a no rep, you're now making the competition better for everybody else.
Yeah.
So yeah, I understand you're going to upset that one person, but if you don't pick that one person up, everyone else now is annoyed. And also that one person probably knows they're not doing it right. Do you know what I mean? So it's the case of, don't feel like you're being harsh on them. One, because they probably know, and two, now you've got everyone else watching, like, pretty pissed off. And that's what's hard to come back. It's like, just say no. Just say no, do it again. And they'll do another one pretty quickly. And all of a sudden, you're probably going to get congratulated for being quite strict by the athlete after.
As long as everyone's doing it, as long as everyone's, you know, implementing the same standard. I think that's the problem at all comps, isn't it? Not just CrossFit comps, but all competitions across the board. It's just that inconsistency in quality of judging. I don't know how you fix that, because volunteers are volunteers at the end of the day. You know what I mean? You need the help of them.
You don't. Yeah, and that's it. And that's, again, with these comps, the easiest way to do it is for the athletes to judge. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's why I don't mind judging. It's a case of, well, holding me true to a standard, because I know what it's like to be on the other side. So if you're now the athlete, then go and help judge, and it's just like you're helping the ecosystem.
Yeah, and I know you're a big advocate for that, because whenever we have a comp or a session at yours, you're always quick to make sure that everyone recognises that. And before we go on to comps, because that's led us nicely in, like, we're talking about judging and standards. So what do you think to the Arnold Fitness Games qualifiers with that messing about with the burpee standard?
It's not necessarily messing about. It's a standard. I mean, I like Rick, and Rick's very, like, down the line when he gets something in place. The only thing is, I'm part of the team that judges the videos.
So for context, they've asked for it. It's got to be a clear jump, 2-footed takeoff, hasn't it, on the burpee over bar?
And for me, I get it, because it's like, this is the standard, this is how we want. It's easy enough to do. However, for me and the judge's point of view, I would have been like, how about we just let them get over the bar any old how? Because chances are the fittest person's still going to win 9 times out of 10. And we can enforce that in person when we can talk to them. Because the amount of people that don't understand it and are going to question it over the keyboard because they're absolute warriors, then when they've got a judge in front of them that says, no, that don't count, it wasn't double foot takeoff, they'll fix it straight away. But chances are now they're going to do a whole video with all these awful reps. They're going to moan about it. And now it's a case of, well, did you watch the standard? Yeah, but I jumped, but it wasn't a jump because one foot left the floor before the other. We can clearly see that. Watch the video back, you can see that. Now you've got to do the whole thing again. Now they're spitting the dummy out. But it's a case of, well, the standard was said, and we always say it, like, look at the movement standards, look at how you score it, do all the stuff before you take part. And again, it's even like me, I went in to do the qualifiers for the Arnolds. I just hate qualifiers. I didn't even do them. Like, I paid to do them, but I just can't be bothered with qualifiers because, I don't know, I just don't find them. Yeah, I just can't get on with them.
Yeah. I just, my thoughts on that are more, just make it easy for everyone. Everyone has been used to the standard of bar over burpees recently, where it, 1 foot and takeoff has been allowed, as long as it's still like a jump. And I just think, for that reason, like you said, you're going to get all the complaints, you're going to get all the people, you're going to get the judges sort of, was that 2-footed, wasn't it? I just think you open yourself up for a lot of, not necessarily scrutiny, but a lot of ball ache in just trying to be different. I don't see the point in it personally. I think, like, you can implement whatever standards you want, but you've got to think about your judging team, the athletes, all for something that, hasn't been a problem for a while. That's what I thought when I saw it. But
I do like the standard personally. I do think it looks better. It's like when like you've got to jump over it forward facing. I like that sort of uniformity. However, it's hard to then judge on an online qualifier. But I feel like in person, I do enjoy those sort of, and it's also like maybe not bringing it in last minute, but telling them on the day, this is the standard. Like your hair, you are the best. That's qualified. You should be able to adapt to these rules.
Yeah. Which I agree with. I agree with in the moment. And like you say, it's much easier to judge. It's much easier to breathe. It's much easier to get feedback, isn't it? Because when something's almost like muscle memory, like when you go to do a bar over burpee, you're not thinking about it. You just do it how you've always done it, or most recently always done it. So when that changes, in the moment when you're doing that qualifier, when your brain starts to go to mush like it does in these workouts when we're going at full capacity, in the moment, you're not holding yourself to that standard, even if you want to, I think. And I'll give people the benefit of the doubt on that, because you just default to what's normal and natural and what you've always done, don't you? Muscle memory kicks in, like I said. So that's what I think. Whereas in the moment, that judge can give you feedback in the moment and say, that wasn't 2-footed, next one's a no rep. Whereas you ain't got that on video. So I think when you change standards for an online qualifier, you just set yourself up for well, it depends how you look at it. If you keep an hard line, go fuck off, we don't care, that was standard, you don't set yourself up for anything, do you? Yeah. Doesn't matter. People either like it or lump it. But I just think that, Ornsey will be on his story in a couple of days going, oh, you fucking idiots, you didn't follow standards, stop messaging me. I can see him now, his little bald head.
But then, like you said, I like the fact that he's willing to put it out there and be like, no, I don't care. This is how I'm doing it.
He will, won't he?
But it's just the girls that have now got to deal with the judging that don't like it as much.
Yeah, well, that's life, isn't it, I guess. But yeah, I thought it was an interesting addition for someone that moans so much about people moaning at him. I think he's just opened a can of worms all over him, Sam, but that's what he likes to do, isn't it? And
also, but it's not clickbait, but it gets it trending. How many posts and interactions has it had? Do you know what I mean? So that's coming up. That's definitely not the reason, but hello, say hello. That's definitely not the reason, but it's definitely going to get more interest from people looking at it now. And now even people that aren't doing the competition, they're going to be like, what's he on about? What are these standards? People that do rain hills and all these other comps. And you know, it's a view, it's a click, it's more traction, it's algorithms, and it's just, you know, marketing.
Yeah. So we're talking a lot about competitions just naturally, because I knew that would come up, but that was going to be the sort of main theme of this show. So, like, you know, when we talk about competing in bits and bobs, obviously you guys are at 17. You have like an unbelievable turnout at most comps, whether they're local, can be a bit further afield. And is that a culture that you've created intentionally, or is it something that you sort of acquired a little bit from having a gym full of people that wanted to compete, that then you just nurtured and pushed along in the right direction? Or do you think that's something that since you've been on board at 17 and took it over, you had a very clear focus on wanting to make it a gym renowned for showing up at comps with a group of people, whatever capability, whatever ability, whatever age range, just so that you're showing out and enforcing the community aspect of CrossFit?
Didn't really have a vision for it. However, I enjoy competitions. I like, let's take our fitness somewhere else. We all do this CrossFit thing most days. What are we doing with it? Let's take it outside the gym, whether we're going to do a completely new sport or let's go and do the sport we're training for. So that's why I do it. And then also I feel like me being, you know, the spearhead of 17, it's like, well, let's practice what you preach. I can't be going away doing competitions, focusing on weaknesses and not encouraging other people to do it. It is well, what's the next goal? I want to get toaster bars. Okay, so what competition do we know? What sort of standard is that? Let's work on those weaknesses, and then we can go and enter a competition that I think is going to have those sort of weaknesses in. So we're not going there to win, it's almost a check-in. So right, we want I don't know, 100 kilo clean and jerk. Great. Where are we probably going to get a heavy lift, where we can now hopefully test that and get in that 100 kilo clean and jerk, let's say, it's going to come with a stronger core, it's going to come with bigger legs, more power, and all those other things. So let's have a competition as the deadline for that, even if it doesn't come up. It's a case of we want it by then, because we've now seen an improvement in our physical resilience to now go and retest. And that's what I say with a lot of my members. I'm like, okay, we've got a goal, but what's the time scale? Because if you haven't got a time scale, we can't really measure it. So
Yeah.
It's all well and good having, right, I want to get fitter. What does fitter look like? Tell me what that is. Let's measure it. Right, I want to be able to, I don't know, let's use Fran. I want to get a sub 3-minute Fran. Awesome, high five you. Let's do it by Defiant Games. Because if you've got that sort of capacity, chances are you're going to do well at Defiant Games, because it's just go and you haven't really got time to rest, and it's just almost fitness, even if obviously these are big in Fran and there's not in Defiant Games.
Yeah. So, when you guys have been at a comp, then do you spend some time after the comp with any of the people that have sort of maybe competed and identified a weakness or identified something they want to get better at? Is that sort of a wash up you guys do, or is it just because you have that open door policy? Someone will come to you after a comp and go, fucking hell, I thought I'd nailed toes to bar, they came up under fatigue, grip went, abs cramped, couldn't do them, what's next? Or do you have a debrief as well?
Yeah, I encourage all the members. So again, they've got access, I've said it before, they've got access to my diary. They can book in with a one-to-one with me, and we can talk about anything and everything. Whether it's running up to a competition, if it's running up to a competition, it's normally a case of, where are you? This is what we should be aiming for. This is what we need to focus on in the couple of weeks coming up. After a competition, it's a case of, wow, didn't realize that was a massive shortfall. Let's focus on this. And we've got until the Open. So come the Open, I want us to make sure this is no longer an issue, whilst maintaining everything else. So it's not a case of, right, we're now just going to practice toaster bars and nothing else. I want toaster bars. And with that, if I know you're working toaster bars, I'll be like, right, it's a 5-round workout. The first round, I want toaster bars, don't care how long it takes you. Second round, it's going to be hanging knee raisers. Third round, back to toaster bars. And then it's kind of, so we're scaling it in the movement, so in the workout. And that's what I think CrossFit should always all be about. They say it's small group PT, but everyone's got their own individual scale. And I'm a big one at the gym for not caring about RX. Like, RX is the best you can do today. That's how I see RX is. But if I've told you to go slow on this because I want that unbroken, is that you giving it your best? No, we're now training, we're not competing. And it frustrates me when people go into a workout to compete at like 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning. Like, why are you doing that? Look at the workout. We're training. What do you want to get from this workout? So again, it's like, I'd always timestamp stuff. So I want the run in under 2 minutes. I want shoulder to overhead unbroken. I want the burpees in under a minute. That's going to leave you with X amount of time to feel sorry for yourself. Let's see if we can maintain that on the second and third round as well. So if you're ahead, great, let's slow it back down. So I already know what time you're going to get if you stick to my timings. Now, what's going to be the limiting factor on that is how much weight can you lift? It says 60 on the board. If you can do it at 100, dig out, show me. If you need to drop it to 40, great, I don't care, because what I want is those shoulder to overhead unbroken. So RX is doing it unbroken. RX isn't the weight. If you do 100 and you're doing it in 5s, that's not impressive, because I wanted it unbroken. And that's kind of how I do a brief and how I sell the workout. So I said, great, I don't want you running 400 meters if you can't get back here within 2 minutes, because now you've kind of missed the stimulus of the workout. And again, if you can run further than 400 meters, great, run 500 meters. But when you come back, chances are that person that's running a little bit further probably isn't going to have the heaviest barbell. So now, because we give every individual thing a timestamp, you can now have the workout bespoke for you. And it's now within that, I can now guide you and help you work towards your goals. So I can say, right, I only want you to run 200 meters. Why? Because I want you to have an extra minute on the shoulder to overhead, because we've realized that's a weakness of yours. Okay. And so that's the sort of stuff that would happen post comp for people that want to start focusing on goals, rather than go and open gym and follow this program. It's let's do the programming, but tailor it to your needs.
Yeah. So like, I've got a few questions on that. So that's obviously like really high level, really intuitive coaching, which most people, I guess, are you sort of targeting people within the class that want to compete and that are trying to get something additional? Or is that maybe, do you find the time when you're coaching an individual class to go through each person and break down all those movements? Because it sounds like, if you've got a class of 14, 15, 16, and then you've got 16 different abilities, 16 different goals, 16 different objectives, it's obviously almost impossible to go around and give that specific guidance to each person. So is that something that, you brief the class because that's what you do? You obviously coach in the moment if someone's doing something maybe slightly incorrect or you want them to get better at it. But is it the people that are competing regularly that you find the time to have that sort of, right, do this in this way?
Not necessarily, because if we're out doing, take today's workout, for instance. What was today's workout? It was the run, shoulder overhead and burpees. So 2-minute run, right? Or they're on an erg for whatever distance. At the 2-minute point, if they're not on the barbell doing a shoulder to overhead, right, reduce your run on the next round. Get off the erg now. If they're still doing their shoulder to overhead after a minute, I'm just going to take weight off the bar. If they've finished their shoulder to overhead within a minute, I'm putting more weight on the bar. So again, there's two things I'm doing when I'm coaching, is making sure people are sticking to the timings, and then along with checking the movement standards. If someone is moving like shit and they're moving fast, great, I'm going to go over there and tell you, again, you're moving fast, let's slow it down, you don't need to move this fast. If they're moving fast and hitting the standards, then I'm like, okay, I'm going to put more weight on your bar. If they're still doing the shoulder to overhead while everyone else has gone back out for a run, I'm going to take weight off the bar. So again, it's just constantly that, and it only takes, but within that, we normally do that prove it rounds, and I can almost tell, I know my members. So again, there was someone today, and I was like, that's a heavy bar, and he's like, I don't know. I'm like, that's a heavy bar. And then so I just set up another bar next to him. Lo and behold, I shit you not, they did 2 reps of the 18, and I said, there's a bar behind you, use that bar, because I already knew what was going to happen. So I had that bar out ready for them, because again, I know my members, and it's a case of, great, if you want to do it, you go try. When you realize I'm right, now you can listen to me, and it's a case of, but I want you to realize it's not me trying to bring you down. I'm doing it because I care about you. I'm doing it because I want you to stay with the crowd. And in the case of the workout is this. So, and I want everyone to start and finish in and around the same time. So for me, sometimes I play games with myself and I try and get everyone to finish the workout within 90 seconds. So for me, if I can get everyone to finish the workout within a 90-second window of each other, I've smashed the scaling. Because it means everyone's had the same stimulus. If one person's finishing 5 minutes before, unless, even if they are finishing it fast, I've missed the opportunity to make it harder for them because I should have upscaled it for them. So again, and that's kind of what I try and do when I'm coaching, but it's, again, that's what I want to do. You've just come for a workout. You're like, Etham, fuck off. Like, I'm doing my workout. I don't want Coach Etham today. I just want to be in the corner doing my own thing. And that's also something that I need to be aware of, because as much as I'm playing my own games in my own head, trying to make sure everyone's hitting these timestamps, I'm also aware some people don't care. They're just here for an hour to move, to tick a box.
Yeah. Well, I've got another couple of questions on that. So, right, I'm going to write this one down so I don't forget. But so how do you balance that then from a sort of intensity point of view and, well, I guess stimulus? Because if you're sort of maybe increasing the weight for someone that's maybe going RX, but they're going RX at a capacity that's like quite not easy for them, but because I always feel like when you're at the top end, rather than make it RX plus, RX triple plus, whatever people want to call it, you just, the intensity naturally increases because they can move the load at a faster rate. So at what point do you sort of draw the line between like just making people go intense or trying to add weight so that it makes them go as fast as the rest of the class and everyone's doing it in a similar time based on weight and distance run and all that? Whereas if they just went at the prescribed weight, they might finish 10 minutes before everyone else, but they should be in a pool of their own piss at end of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so then I would give certain individuals something else to do. So I would say, do those muscle ups unbroken. Rest until you can do them unbroken. Can you squeeze in 20? But I did a workout the other day and I put in 20 burpees in between things. Just because I thought, actually, I'm a little bit far ahead. How can I make this a little bit harder for myself? Right, I'm going to throw in 20 burpees. Can I still maintain the pace of the workout while squeezing this in? So again, that's normally what I'll try and do, is rather than increase it so it's just the load, I'm like, can I now increase this difficulty of the skill, get them to do bigger sets? Because we all know, like Murph, for instance, everyone breaks it up into smaller sets because it's easier. Okay, can you still hit that same time doing bigger sets? Probably not, because our capacity in that movement's going to run out. So again, it's now finding that balance, bearing in mind this is going to be on the move as well, so you need to pretty much do it with minimal words, because all they want to do is send it. So without ruining their workout, can you get that across to them? Do you know what I mean? And that's the skill. And also what you need to remember is, I don't coach every class. Well, I coach most of them. So it's a case of, it's not every class they've got me. So every now and then they will have another coach. So it's not like I'm ruining their workout every single day. It's a case of, oh shit, we've got Etham. He's going to be an arse, probably hold us in positions and do all the stuff. But then that's the perk of having different sort of coaches looking for different things.
Yeah, that makes sense. So the other question I had on that was just something you touched on when you said some members just want to come in and do a workout. They're not really bothered about all the other stuff. So there's been a bit of a, obviously I consume all the information in the CrossFit space on my bike, mate. So I've got me ear to the ground. And one of the things that seems to have been a bit of a, not dispute on recently, but how CrossFit is sort of coming away from core CrossFit, because, you know, one day might be programmed a 5x5 back squat. And when you've got someone coming into your class in the morning that wants to get a sweat on before they go to work, so it might be the only hour of the day they've got to train. Even Froning said, like, some people don't want to learn double unders. Amen. Fuck double unders. Some people don't want to lift an heavy barbell. Some people just want to feel like they've had a workout. So how do you navigate your loyalty to the CrossFit methodology, but also the fact that you need your gym to be something that everybody wants to come to? You know, because it's always going to have a CrossFit undertone. But how do you balance that? Because obviously you're someone that believes in the methodology quite strongly, and you've built your life around it. How do you balance those two things?
It's tough, but I would say it's in the cell of the whiteboard brief, which kind of contradicts what I say, because sometimes I don't even do a whiteboard brief because half of them don't even listen anyway. But it would be in the sense, if I want them to do something I don't think they want to do, I'll take Platinum Crew. So we've got Platinum Crew. They're the golden oldies, tend to be like, 55 plus age. How can I get them to do the hard things? It's pretty much, you've got to sell it to them and tell them why it's going to benefit them, why they need to do it.
Oh, you haven't gone, have you? Right, if you're bored waiting for Etham's connection to come back, why don't you subscribe to the channel? The button's down there somewhere. Give it a subscribe. And then if you do that, if enough of you do that right now, he'll magically come back and you can look at his beautiful face in them thick-rimmed glasses. See, you're not subscribing fast enough. I see you all watching. Come on, press that button. You might like it. So I'm big on that. Like, I like to do a CrossFit workout, and obviously it's easy for me to say because I don't own a gym, I'm not coaching, but I just want to make sure I've had a good workout in the mornings, in the evenings. So I'm one that would probably not enjoy coming in for a smaller, shorter workout. I like to have a bit of a slog. He's here. He's back.
Hello.
You're back. Fucking hell. Looks like we're on a 3310 now, mate. We lose some battery.
There we go. No, I don't know. It says something went wrong on my phone.
Yeah, it looks like it has.
Don't need my don't need my Meta glasses anymore.
Mate, you look beige now.
Sorry, I don't have a fancy laptop.
You were crystal clear before, mate. All viewers were like buzzing with your complexion, everything were popping, and now they're disappointed, mate.
Sorry, this is what you get when you wake up me in the morning.
So back to that then, mate. So like balancing sort of getting a sweat on, as people like to say, and being true to what CrossFit actually is. How do you balance those two? Did you get me when I said the sales? I don't know. I said when you're at the whiteboard and you're selling it, then you mentioned old fuckers, and then that were about it.
Yeah, so I have it down as a sale. So you need to tell them why they're going to benefit from it, and then again, that's it. In this case of if it's programmed correctly, and if you know why they're doing it, they're going to get the buy-in, because they realize he's not just got me doing burpees, he's got me going on the floor and I'm going to get back up for when I fall over. He's got me squatting, because if I can't squat to depth now, when am I going to be able to do it in the future? Or if I lose the range now, it's only going to get worse. Ground to overhead with a plate when they want to pick up their grandkids. So now when you relate it to something that they care about, they now put more effort in. Whereas if I just say, oh, we're going to do a few burpees, do a few ground to overhead, and I'm a bit blasé about it, and I'm not excited, they're not going to be excited about it. So it's almost like, right, how can I get the buy-in from this? And as soon as you've got the buy-in, which doesn't take long, once you've got that buy-in, it's a case of I can get them to do anything. And it's prime example, and I said it to Harley the other day. Obviously, one of the coming up coach. It was a hard. You won't remember talking about this. It was a hard gymnastics day to coach, and by the end of the day, he had them playing games. They was doing wheelbarrow races, and it was doing just fun little games. As part of, I says, the movements you were doing were really good. A wheelbarrow race, it's getting them slightly inverted. It's getting them on their hands. They're socializing with members. It's shoulder stability. He wasn't thinking about any of that stuff. He was just thinking about, I want to play a game because I'm bored. So again, and it's like, if you can now understand the benefits from the movements, you can get a good sell on it. So okay, we're going to have fun. We're going to be working on shoulder stability. Why? Because we're going to be going upside down. We need to learn how to do this. Those that haven't done handstand walks, this could be the first time you've moved your hands under load on the floor. Do you know what I mean? So it's getting that sale. And it's like, if you know movement and exercise, you can sell anything to anyone. But that's where the coaching comes in. And are you just reading the whiteboard and telling them what they're doing, or are you going to sell it to them and get the buy-in? And that's when they send it sideways.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And I guess so it's like anything then, and it's all in the brief, it's all in understanding what the client wants, it's all in, I guess you've got different offerings as well, haven't you? If someone's constantly coming into CrossFit and not getting what they want from it, you can advise them to do a different class and at a different time, and say, well, maybe this class is more for you, because if you've got some of the Hyrox style ones, you've got strong, what you mentioned, and you've got a few different options that cater for all needs, really.
But it's all the same thing. They just label it differently.
Yeah, but sometimes that's all it takes, isn't it?
And it's like me marketing. Obviously, I'm trying to get more members in because it's a business, and talking to different people about how to market it. As soon as you say CrossFit, you have lost a percentage of people because of what CrossFit comes with. Now, this person I was talking to is just a business advisor. They don't like CrossFit because of what they've heard. They come to the gym. I was talking to them about it. They now want to come and try a session, and they're now becoming a member because what CrossFit has, it's obviously it's got that reputation, but it depends on where they're going to get that experience. And you could go to, again, Project. They do CrossFit. We do it slightly different. Are they going to get the same treatment that I give members? No, because we do it all different. We're all doing CrossFit. How we deliver it is completely different. And again, CrossFit is just a movement. Hyrox is just a movement. We can make it very bespoke and very different in its own ways. Is there a right or wrong way? No, I'm just doing it the way I like to do it because it's the way I like to coach. Someone else might be like, no, we're going full send. CrossFit is all about intensity. I'm like, yeah, it's intensity at set points. So does that mean I'm not doing CrossFit because I'm now slowing you down because I want you to push later on? When CrossFit is all about intensity.
I guess that's what's beneficial about the CrossFit model then, isn't it? Is that because it's not a franchise model, it's more of a just, by naming rights, you have the autonomy to go and do whatever the hell you want with that methodology. And that's, like you said, you and Project both deliver excellent services in very different ways because you've got the freedom to do that. So that's why I think it's like a blessing and a curse almost, though, because you have the freedom to do it. You two do it really well, so that's good. But then someone that doesn't do it so well is why CrossFit ends up with a bad reputation. And then it's like, how do you fix that within the model that exists today? It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, but then it's down to, again, education. And I think that as a whole, CrossFit gyms, where a lot of CrossFit gets bad names, people doing CrossFit by themselves. I don't know many bad CrossFit gyms that aren't doing it right. I think if you go to most CrossFit gyms, you're going to find a coach there that cares. And this case of it's when people start doing CrossFit by themselves and then they get injured or they're seen doing CrossFit at JD and someone else sees them doing it, that's where it gets its bad rep. I think people that actually go into a CrossFit gym and get coached, I don't know any bad CrossFit gyms. We do it differently, but they're not bad. It's just a case of they do it that way. Are they still ticking the box? Yeah. Do I need to be obsessive over goals and having a reason to train? No, I absolutely don't. Do some people want that? No, they don't. So they might want to go to another gym because they'd be like, well, I haven't got any goals. I just want to come here and tick the box. That's absolutely fine. But it's a case of I'm going to encourage you to have a reason to train. Why? Because it's good member retention. If you've got a goal and I'm going to help you work towards it, that's good for me. It's good for business. Yeah. And then I want to be part of your journey. Like when you're getting married, when you're on holiday and you're feeling good, I'm like, yeah, I want to see that picture. Yeah, you look boss. Like, well done. Remember when you look back and you wasn't that confident and you couldn't reach topless? I want to give people that confidence. But if we haven't got something to train for, I can't really look back at the moment, or we haven't got nothing to look forward to do.
Yeah, God, it's a balancing act, isn't it? Trying to juggle everyone's needs just within an hour session a day or something like that. It must be tough, mate. So, like with an eye to that, then, like how are things at the gym now? Like it's December time. Do people start to unwind, and is there a bit of drop off in attendance and that ready for January, or is it like full steam ahead?
I'm full steam. Nothing stops. We're open every day. We don't close. We're open Christmas Day, Boxing Day, every day. Why? Because people need the fix. Yeah. Absolutely.
Talk me through Christmas Day. We've got a bit of a delay here. Hang on.
So is that better now? Is it my signals come back?
Yeah, that's bang on. Yeah.
You got it?
On Christmas Day. What happens at 17 on Christmas Day?
So backstory. I don't live with my son, so I used to wake up Christmas Day by myself and go and get my son in the afternoon. So then Christmas Day morning, I'd be by myself, nothing to do. And I'm sure I'm not the only person at 17 that does that. So before I even owned 17, I offered to put on a class an hour in the morning, just for those that wake up by themselves. Obviously, anyone can come, but it's more for those that wake up by themselves and they want to see a friendly face in the morning because it's Christmas Day. So it's a case of come in, we'll have a secret Santa, bring a seat, bring a present, you put a present down, you pick a present up. We train for an hour, so we call it power hour. It's just like a rolling clock. First 10 minutes, general warm-up, 10 minutes to 20, bit of lifting, 20 to 30, with something else, and just a rolling clock for an hour. And yeah, it just gets people out the house on Christmas Day, mainly for those that are by themselves, because it's a lonely place when you're by yourself. But it's grew, and I think last year we had like 15 people come for an hour.
Amazing.
So again, yeah, it was designed for, me just giving back. Again, it's what I've experienced, and I know that, again, training's a big part of my mental health. So I want to give other people the opportunity. I'm probably going to train Christmas Day anyway. So if I'm there, the lights are on, come and join me. And it goes with every other day of the year. Like, if I'm there, I'm like, and the members know that 9 times out of 10, I'm at the gym. So it's a case of, if I'm at the gym, like, drop me a message. And if it's going to give me an opportunity to train, let me know, because I'll come and train with you. So the times when I'm likely to train, I've just opened up a class. So, and members know that, and they're like, great, well, it's like we'll just put on a Saturday afternoon class now as well, because most Saturdays I'm in there in the evening. If I'm coaching in the morning, I don't get time to train. By the time the morning's done, I can't bother to train because I want to eat. So then now I said, right, I normally train 5 till 6. So I've just made it a class, 5 till 6, because I'm normally there. And if I'm not there, Harley's going to be there. So I'm sure between the two of us, we can make sure the lights are on, the doors are open, come and play.
Sounds good. What time do you train on Christmas Day?
So it's we go 8 till 9. So we get there for like 1:45, set up a table, put a present down, high fives all round, quick blast, and then get back, shower, change, go and see loved ones, got a bit of an appetite, and then you don't feel as guilty either.
Yeah. I might eat you up about that, mate. I might have to nip over and send it with you Christmas morning.
Hey, it's good. There's already about 9 or 10 people booked on, and I've not even, I don't need to tell people because I know it's on, but as soon as you remind people, they all come out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I might, mate. I'll definitely, unless I catch Santa in act, might pin him to bed, then I won't wake up alone. But other than that, mate, that'll be me Sunday morning, Christmas Day morning. So, yeah, I might do that, mate. Sounds like a bit of fun, that.
Yeah, and then all the other days we're open. It's mainly like Saturday hours, Saturday routines. But if it's a normal working day, then, yeah, business as usual. We've got...
And what we've got... Have you got anything planned for January? Anything coming up?
January, what do we have? There's not a crazy amount where... What have we got in January? No, nothing crazy. We're looking at doing like one community thing a month.
Okay.
But we've got the Open, and there's that new competition, Arena Games.
Oh yeah, they were at Yorn on Saturday, weren't they?
Yeah, so they were there. So again, I'm seeing what the members want to do because it clashes with them.
Oh, is it that weekend?
Yeah, the same weekend. So obviously, going over to Arena Games, that's up in Newcastle, and it sounds like a good gig. You go over there, it'll be a case of get a party house. All the members go up, obviously, as we do, rock up in force, rep out on the day, stay there overnight, go out Saturday night, and then all make our way back Sunday. But then obviously that's going to mean that we miss out on Witham. So I need to, that's one of my jobs this week, to find out what the members want to do. Because again, Witham is a big amount of manpower. So we just need to look at that. So that's the first big thing. In regards to January, it's always a long month. So we like to keep things minimal expense for most people. So it's going to be a case of get back into it. We're starting a My Zone competition, which I think is going to be pretty cool. So how it's going to work is, the members don't even know this yet, but we're going to have like 10 teams. And then every month, whatever team's at the bottom is going to get dispersed amongst the other teams. So come the last month, there's going to be 2 teams. And then obviously, so throughout the whole year, you're just trying to get MEPs for your team. So I'm going to do something it's going to be something along those lines. So that's getting launched in January because we don't really use the My Zone to its potential. But as much as I don't like it for several reasons, it's just a bit of fun, and it gets people in groups, training, chasing maps, just moving.
Oh, it just adds to that community element as well, doesn't it? People having a bit of banter, people like trying a bit harder than they might have. Just anything like that's good, mate, isn't it?
Also, with it running throughout the whole year, I think it would be good because, I mean, it's just something that's always going off in the background. So anytime there's a lull, we can just go back to that, try and get that going again. Because you know what it's like, day one, week one, everyone's in warming up on an erg, and then all of a sudden it drifts off, and then you can just up and down and stuff.
Yeah, that sounds good, mate. So, anything to close with? Anything you wanted to call out before we call it there, mate? So we've had a good hour, so we've done pretty well.
No, we covered quite a lot, I would say. What we do need to do is get Defiant Games competition sorted out.
Yeah.
Please. That's one thing that I need to sort out. Just remind me of what kit's involved, because I know the members are going to watch this, and I've got loads of new members that I think are going to really interested in it, because I would personally say it's a little bit easier in regards to skill than Midland Fitness Games, and I think
massively. But if they do both, well, there's a discount on both. But obviously, we'll do a deal with you anyway. But yeah, from a Defiant Games point of view, mate, it's pretty much similar stitch to what it has been. Ergs, one event I'll have running in. There's going to be some oddball events, so we're going to use the stadium to its fullest, shall we say. So some of the stuff that we've done in previous years will be making a return, so we're making it a little bit different to most CrossFit comps. But there'll be no rig, there'll be no high skill, there'll be no heavy bars, there'll be bars for repping, but we're talking 50 kg for blokes, 35 for ladies as an absolute max, no complex lifts. So just pretty much rinse and repeat. But we've got Gym Sync doing one of the workouts for us, so they're coming up to do the erg workout. So, you know, we normally have an acid bath variation, but I'm going to be leaving that in the capable hands of Nick at Gym Sync. There's going to be no floating workout. The floating workout this time, to give us more in terms of what we can do, we're going to split the team of 3 into 3 individual workouts, and you'll all go and do one at the same time. But they'll be the ones that are a little bit different. So, you know, like we've done long jump before, shot put, we've done all sorts of different bits. Those 3, when we split that team into 3, will all have something like that to go and do on their own, which will make it. No, it's I've teased it out. I've teased it out a few times, but yeah. So it'll be the first time in Defiant Games history where you've split off from your teams, and you get to pick who does what. So the workouts will be briefed well in advance, and you and your teams will say, right, I'll be good at that. And each one of those 3 events, we're not splitting you off to go and do Grace or something like that. We're splitting you off to go and do something completely different that you will not have done before a CrossFit comp, unless you've done the Defiant Games. So it'll be interesting that, because when we did the long jump the first year, you know, there was someone in each team that loved it, and someone in each team that hated it, and someone that were indifferent. So we covered.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Is there going to be a worm?
I don't know. We've got them. It's just whether we use them or not, because it depends. Basically, I need to see what Nick programs for Gym Sync. I need to see what we do with these free workouts, and then I don't know. I like having the worm in, but I feel like we've kind of done it. There ain't much more we can do with it without getting 3-person worms. So it's a bit like, well, maybe we'll miss them a year this year. I don't know.
So we're just trying to work out what kit we've got.
Yeah.
What kit haven't we got? But in this case, as they get towards the competitions, they like to do like team training. So I know what to focus on. But
yeah, I don't think so. I'm going to announce everything well in advance this year so that people can start training, working, and just in a help to boost ticket sales. I think we're only at like about 40% capacity so far. Normally by this time in the year, we're normally up at about 55, 60%, and then we get another boost. But I think that seems to be the story across the board with comps at the moment. I think people are just booking onto them a little bit later because there's that much more choice, and so it's just
they're just everywhere there. Before it was the few and far, but not few and far between. But now you can literally do a comp any day of the week, which is it's crazy. Like every weekend is going to be, I would say, I don't know, at least 10 you can pick from.
But how many of them are going to have an event that includes a inflatable bouncy castle?
An event that includes it?
Oh, sorry, an inflatable obstacle course, I should say. It's not an inflatable bouncy castle. It's an inflatable obstacle course.
Wow, that's something we haven't seen.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're going to see it, but I'm trying to find one. I've found one that's 80 foot long, and that'll go down that back straight, and then it'll be a case of you just getting a time for your run through that. But yeah, I need to work on the logistics of that a little bit. But I just figured
I've got a lot of time
anything that's different and fun, like let's get it in, because that's what Defiant Games is about. I feel like, it's easy to get sucked into doing what everyone else is doing. So we'll have a bit of a play this year and see if we can just bring some proper fun back. Still be competitive, still be different, but just do something that people haven't done before.
I think that's what makes it key, and that's what I try to do with Battle of the Boxers. It's a case of, try and do something that's a bit different, so it's not just you want them to be, I missed out on that. Not a case of, it's just another workout that you can go and do in the gym. Like no one's doing, like the long jump, no one's doing that. Some of the pictures, they are good pictures that you're never going to get again. So again, and that's part of the reason why we do this. But no, that's exciting. That gives me something to push because we've got 16 going to Midland Fitness Games, same sex threes. So I am looking. It's going to be a case of great, same teams, to Defiant Games, and then we can.
Well, we'll lift and shift them, mate. They can renew the rivalries with each other once again. And what we'll do, because I did it for CrossFit Rotherham, I think we did it with some of your 17s. If they want, we'll put them all in the heat together. So if you had 16 teams, eight male, 8 female, we'll put them all in put all the females in one heat and all the males in another, so they can cheer each other on, but then battle each other as well. Be like your own personal competition.
Yeah. No, that's definitely something we push, because I don't think you've had many from us yet, but that's because we'll all sign up at the same time. So all of a sudden, you're going to get a big influx.
Sounds good, mate. Right, mate. Let's call it there, because we can have a quick wrap up, and then I can still be in bed for a reasonable time. Right. Cheers for jumping on, brother. Appreciate it.
Take it easy.